fans, joining us now, the 2010 World of Outlaws Sprint Car Champion, Jason Myers. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Pretty prestigious title. You know, there's not too many, with the exception of Swindell and Kinzer, not too many guys have won this title.
Yeah, it's I don't know that I knew the guys that had won it, but I never paid attention to how few of them actually had won it until we finally won it last year. So to just become just the 8th person to win it ever is a pretty neat deal, and now we're working our tails off trying to win another one, because they say to win one's great and to win two's legendary. So we're going after that now.
Well, Donnie Schatz with 4, he's wanting to get number 5, so he's not going to be cheering for you to get that second one. You come to us out of Clovis, California, travel around 48 World of Outlaw victories. Coming into the Silver Cup, this is the 20th Silver Cup, and I've been lucky enough to be at all of them. Some good racing, some tough competition. What's the game plan?
Tonight you got to start out good. You can't get behind in this racing anymore. If you get behind somewhere in the night, it's really hard to make it up. It's so competitive out here. So many good teams running for the wins each and every night and running for the championship. I mean, this year you've got, I think, still 5 cars, almost 6, that are still in the hunt at this point in the game, which over the years, usually after about the end of May, there's only 2 guys that are actually in the hunt. So it's pretty amazing the competition we've got out here, and not to mention the Outlaw guys, but then your few guys that show up here and there from either from Pennsylvania or from the All-Stars or Ohio that can run right with you. So tonight you just got to go out and you got to every time you touch a racetrack, it's got to count.
Well, a couple guys you mentioned, Ed Lynch and Timmy Schaefer, have both won here, local guys. Timmy doing a lot of traveling now. Ed travels when he can. So you're right. It's going to be a tough deal. Now, you and wife Robin, you have 2 daughters. A lot of travels involved with this deal. Are they able to be with you often?
Yeah, they're with me right now out here. We used to travel out here for about 5 months out of the year with the family. And the schedule anymore doesn't have a lot of midweek races, so we backed off that a little bit. But just about 3 weeks ago, I brought the family out. So my wife and daughters Delaney and Presley are both out here, and they're out here sweating with Dad through the hot weather in Pennsylvania. So it really makes it nice. I'm very fortunate with the team that I have and the sponsors we have to be able to afford to have my family out on the road with me. And I really wouldn't do it any other way, because to be away from your family that long is just – life's too short for that. That's part of what life's all about, is building your family and raising them, and it's pretty neat to have them out here, though, because people say that, boy, you're out on the road, but really during that time on the road, I get to spend more time with my family than any dad would be able to working a regular 8-to-5 job at home, because you get up in the morning and they're asleep, and you come home at night and you spend 3 hours with them and they go to bed, where I get to be with them pretty much most of the day other than when I'm racing. So it makes it really nice. We really treasure our family time and enjoy it, and we try to make the road fun. Hopefully my kids will be able to look back on this time someday and tell their friends and others about how much fun they had when they were kids growing up.
How old are the girls?
My oldest daughter will turn 4 here in September, and my youngest one will turn 1 here in August. So they
still very young.
A
lot of fun. Got to be a lot of fun. Hey, when you're not driving a race car, you do a little bit of golf, a little bit of motorcycles?
I try to do what I can, but I have not played golf since probably March, and haven't ridden a motorcycle since probably around March or April too. So it's just really, really busy with being part owner in the team and being very involved with our sponsors. From about March through October, I don't get much time to do else other than worry about racing and make sure that we keep the business going and all that stuff happening. So it keeps me very busy, but we do try to get away. Golf's gotten a little tough. I can't take the girls golfing. So when I do get a little bit of time off, I really would rather spend it with my wife and my kids, and sometimes just my wife. Just her and I like to get away. So the golf course becomes few and far between, but my oldest one's getting old enough to ride the four-wheelers and stuff now, and she enjoys it. And my wife, I don't know if she enjoys it, but she goes along with it because Dad likes it, and the little one's starting to. So we try to do as much as we can together, and those hobbies of mine that I've always loved are few and far between anymore, but most of all is just having fun with the kids and getting to see them enjoy themselves and have a good time.
Every time I interview a driver, I stress how important it is to have the support of your family and your wife, or in some cases a girlfriend, because if they're not on board, you got big problems.
Yeah, that's what puts the gas in the tank. Without that, you're not getting anywhere. And my wife, Robin, has been with me for this will be our 10-year wedding anniversary here this December, and she's been behind me the entire time, and I wouldn't be where I am today without her. And that, I think anybody who says any differently is certainly off base, because she's been very supportive of what I've done. She's helped me accomplish what I have, and also kept me going when the times get tough and get down. So I've got a very good support structure there with my entire family, and this team and the ownership group within our team and everybody, and that's all necessary to be successful.
Let's talk about the team and the sponsors. You have a unique situation actually being part owner of the team.
Yeah, it's something. In 2004, Guy Stockbridge and I started Elite Racing, and it was more at that time for job security than anything. I mean, the old saying goes in sprint cars, the easiest thing to change is the driver. So I didn't want to be with trying to build a family and raise a family. I didn't want to be in that position every day where you could walk in tomorrow and because you had a bad night, your job's down the road. And I really felt in order to build something, a championship caliber team, you needed to have that consistency. So we started this team, and Chris Luck came along and got involved. He's a partner in the team now and a very big part of what we do. And I couldn't have done it without those two and everybody, every sponsor that's been involved with us over the years and is still involved today. We've got so many guys that have been with us right from the beginning. We've got some great companies with All-Star Performance, been with us for a long time, Media Tile, DD&I, GLR, Elite Landscaping, and so many more that are on that car that we couldn't do it without them. And it's really been fun not only going out and doing what we're doing and winning races and winning championships, but building this team into what it is and getting the opportunity to work with great people like Brian Bloomfield and Shane Bowers and Sam Matthews and all the others that have been a part of the team as we've come up through the ranks. So it's really the whole experience that's made it all worth it.
Now, you have the nickname Hotfoot, and people would assume that's your racing, but that's not the case.
Not entirely. That actually comes, Johnny Gibson, he's the nickname guy, and we were actually over in Australia a few years ago, and the car I was driving was sponsored by a pub, or I guess more of a nightclub more than anything. So we were there after the races, and the people were dancing, and I made the comment to somebody that I can do that, and somebody, of course, you're around a bunch of guys, so you get dared that you can't. So I had to get up and show them that I could do that, and I used to, when I was younger, did a lot of that, and so I got up and showed. Well, Johnny Gibson happened to be there that night. So the next night I'm nicknamed. So not a lot of people know the basis behind that, but hey, it was something I did a long time ago and really enjoyed it. And my wife and I still to this day enjoy that, and it gives us something to do when we go out.
Well, I'll give you a little secret about Johnny Gibson. He went to school with my son-in-law. And when I first told him Johnny was doing the announcing, he said, "How long's his hair?" Because at one time he had shoulder-length hair and played in a rock band. So Johnny has cleaned up his act considerably since his days in high school.
Doesn't surprise me a bit.
Let's talk about Knoxville, 2001.
Knoxville 2001, that would have been my first World of Outlaw win, and to get it not only that year, only my first year on the Outlaw Tour, but also to get it at Knoxville Raceway was pretty special. And the only sad part about that is I haven't won a race at Knoxville since. So we've had a lot of good runs there, a lot of top threes, and a second at the Nationals a couple of years ago. So we're really looking forward to going back there for the Nationals this year. We've been concentrating on that event all year long, and that's one that's on the top of the list to try to knock off.
Want to compliment you on your 2010 championship. Wish you well trying to expand that to a second title, and with the exception of Donnie Schatz wanting a fifth one, you ought to be in pretty good shape.
Well, there's a lot of guys fighting for it, and unfortunately Joey Saldana was injured last weekend, but I know Brad Sweet's going to fill in for him, and he'll do a great job. And hopefully Joey will be back very soon. Steve Kinzer, you can't ever count him out, and Delansky's had a really good year this year. Paul McMahon's been running well, so we got to fight for it every night. It's still a lot of the season left to go. We're just finally getting to our busy time here this year, so we really need to run strong this next couple of months and try to put a little breathing room in between us and Schatz or whoever might other be challenging for that championship. So a lot of great sponsors behind us. I got a great team that's a pleasure to work with, and we are going to keep fighting each and every day to come out here and try to put the numbers on the board and eventually the points.
You mentioned Steve Kinzer. He won the first Don Martin Memorial, and he's very capable of winning the 20th one, and he won about 18 or 19 of them races here at Lernerville in between. So going to be a tough night. Want to wish you well. We're talking to Jason Myers, the defending champion. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.